contribution to the UN's different activities, as well as the current reform taking place in different UN programs. Nile TV's Shorouk Bakir has the story.
On the occasion of United Nations Day, coincides with Egypt's first anniversary as a non-permanent member of the Security Council. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Shorouk, reviewed the involvement of Egypt in all effective activities of the Council to represent South African and Arab countries.
There have been several efforts over the past years to establish reforms in the various organs of the United Nations, primarily in the Security Council, and these are ongoing. For the African Union has a determined and agreed position in this regard, where it sees that it must have a greater representation on the Council and correct the historic imbalance that had occurred since the inception of the organization, and continues to advocate for this position. This is necessary to enhance the ability of the organizations to fulfill its responsibilities and to undertake all the measures necessary, whether it's in the political sphere or the economic or the social.
This year's observance of United Nations Day occurs at a time of transition for the world and for the United Nations.
Egypt is a very active and dynamic member of the United Nations. Egypt, through its involvement in various meetings, conferences, international and global fora and so on, is actually contributing every day to that reform through its own positions, through its work in Africa, in the Middle East and elsewhere. Egypt is trying also to play a different kind of role, where the developing world is not just a partner, but the developing world can play and should play an important role and should be recognized and respected. I think that's a very much appreciated role that Egypt is playing, and we would like to see more of that.
Humanity has entered the era of sustainability with a global commitment to fulfill the great promise of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, Global Mission of Peace, and Human Rights.
Well, I am a UN AIDS Goodwill Ambassador for the region, for North Africa and for the Middle East. So it's part of my job to be here, and it's a privilege to be here tonight and an honor to be here between all the UN agencies tonight. The UN agencies, we all have to help each other to overcome any obstacles in our lives. Whenever we put our hands together, we can make the impossible possible. So hopefully we can do that. And I hope we can end AIDS by 2030 and even before.
The organization's 71st year have 17 goals towards a better future for all on a healthy planet. Great efforts undertaken by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the occasion of celebrating the International Day of the United Nations to emphasize the pivotal role of Egypt in the region and the world. Shorouk Bakir, Nile TV International.
Thank you very much, Shorouk, for that report. Let's go over now to Syria, where at least 6 children were killed in government shelling that hit a kindergarten in the rebel-held town of Harasta outside the capital, Damascus. The Britain